The Old West is a place full of adventure, danger, and myth. There's no outlaw that captures the Old West's imagination like Kid Curry. He is an outlaw cowboy, a legend, and a mystery that has fascinated people for more than a century. Who is Kid Curry? What drove him to a life of crime? And what's the real story behind this fascinating Old West character? In this video, we uncover the truth and reveal the story of Kid Curry, the Old West's most daring and scheming outlaw. Remember to hit the like button because it helps us a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to not miss the upcoming interesting videos. Harvey Alexander Logan is the real name of the man known as Kid Curry. He is an orphaned cowboy from Iowa who grew up to be a thief, a gunman, and a banker. However, he is more famous for his train robbery and is considered one of the most extravagant members of Butch Cassidy's outlaw gang, the Wild Bunch. Born in 1867 in Tama County, Iowa, Harvey was the third child in a family of 6. His childhood was marked by poverty and hardship. When his father died, his mother moved the family to Dodson, Missouri, a small town outside of Kansas City, where they hoped to find a better life. As fate was destined, tragedy struck young Harvey Logan and his siblings when their mother died shortly after their father's death in 1876. The orphans were taken care of by his aunt and uncle. They, Lizzie and Hiram Lee, adopted them, who gave them a home. Sometime later, Harvey and his 3 brothers moved to Texas, where he found work as a butcher at Cross L Ranch near Big Spring. It was there that he befriended a man named Flat-Nosed George Curry, who would have a significant influence on his life. In fact, Harvey even took George's last name as his last name. After getting involved in a bar brawl in Colorado, Harvey knows he must humble himself to avoid the law, so he went to southern Wyoming where he hoped to start over. The following year, Harvey, along with his brothers Johnny and Lonnie, went to stay at a horse ranch in Chouteau County, Montana, just south of the Landusky Mining Ranch. On October 2, 1894, Harvey and Johnny Logan, along with their brother-in-law, Lee Self, got into a dispute with their neighbor James Ross. During the altercation, Harvey was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. This event set a path for the young cowboy that would lead to a career in crime. It wasn't long before another incident occurred, this time with a local miner named Powell Pike Landusky. The miner attacked Harvey because he believed he was having an affair with his daughter. When Logan fought back and won, Landusky filed a complaint and arrested him. Although a judge ultimately ruled in Logan's favor, a formal trial is still set for the charges. One fateful night, Harvey and Landusky ran into each other again at a local pub. A heated argument quickly turned into a brawl, and as Logan turned to walk away, Landusky pulled out a gun and threatened him. In self-defense, Logan's brothers gave him a pistol, and when the final gunfight broke out, Harvey quickly shot Landusky in the head. Fearing that he would never get a fair trial for the murder, Logan fled. The aftermath of the shooting brings a shocking revelation. Landusky's daughter announces that she's pregnant, but the baby isn't Harvey's. Instead, it was Lonnie's brother's son. This twist of fate will have a significant impact on Kid Curry's life in the years to come. Highly wanted, Harvey Logan has no choice but to flee to New Mexico. There, he teamed up with the infamous Black Jack Ketchum gang, where he continued his life of crime. However, Harvey could not resist the temptation to return to Montana, believing that James Winters was trying to claim a reward for his capture. During a violent confrontation in 1896, Harvey and his brothers confronted Winters, which resulted in the death of Johnny Logan. Grieving and once again on the run, Harvey and Lonnie rejoined the Black Jack Ketchum gang. However, disagreements with the gang's leader, Thomas Black Jack Ketchum, caused the Logan brothers to part ways and venture to Colorado, where they found work on a farm near Sand Gulch. Harvey's criminal nature doesn't change, and he quickly forms a new gang that includes his brother Lonnie, as well as Walt Putman, Tom O'Day, and his old friend George Curry. However, trouble follows them wherever they go. In 1897, Harvey was implicated in the murder of Deputy Sheriff William Dean of Powder River, Wyoming, in a horse theft. After narrowly escaping in Montana, Harvey Logan and his gang robbed a bank in Belle Fourche, South Dakota in June of that year. Although most of the party managed to escape, the bandit Tom O'Day was caught when his horse panicked. The remaining bandits were eventually caught in Fergus County, Montana. In the ensuing gunfight, Logan was wounded in the wrist and was arrested along with Walt Putman and George Curry. They were imprisoned in Deadwood, South Dakota, but escaped on October 31, 1897. Logan then teamed up with the infamous Sundance Kid and flat-nosed George Curry to rob a train from the South Pacific Railroad in Humboldt, Nevada on July 14, 1898. However, the loot was only about $450. In 1899, the Wild Bunch, including Logan, robbed the Union Pacific Railroad near Wilcox, Wyoming. This led to a fierce chase, culminating in a furious gunfight between the trailing team and the bandits, resulting in the loss of Sheriff Joe Hazen's life. The Wild Bunch managed to escape to their hole-in-the-wall hideout located on the Colorado-Utah border. Pinkerton detective Charles Siringo is then tasked with investigating the outlaw gang. Harvey Logan joins forces with Butch Cassidy and a group of criminals in New Mexico. Together, on July 11, 1899, they hijacked a train near Folsom, New Mexico. However, their theft was short-lived as Sheriff Ed Farr and his team quickly caught up with them at Turkey Creek. A fierce gun battle ensued, wounding Elza Lay and Sam Ketchum, and the death of Sheriff Farr. Deputy Henry Love was also injured. Logan and Cassidy managed to escape. Harvey eventually finds refuge in Fanny Porter's brothel in San Antonio. It was there that Harvey met Della Moore, also known as Annie Rogers. The two of them began a romantic relationship, a relationship that lasted several years. However, their peaceful existence was shattered when Lonnie Curry, a friend of Harvey, was killed in a gunfight with law enforcement. Harvey was devastated, and his grief was compounded when George Curry, his best friend, was also legally killed just 2 months later. On April 17, 1900, Sheriff Jesse M. Tyler pursued Curry after he herded some cattle near Moab, Utah. In the ensuing gunfight, Curry was shot dead. Harvey Logan's criminal life continues with his accomplice, Will Carver. In March, they were discovered in St. John's, Arizona, where they were suspected of being involved in the Wilcox robbery. Sheriff Edward Beeler tried to arrest them, but they quickly escaped. Harvey and Carver fled to Alma, New Mexico, where they met Butch Cassidy and Elza Lay. Along the way, Sheriff George Scarborough and cowherd Walter Birchfield set out to hunt them down. But the insidious Harvey was one step ahead of them and ambushed both of them on April 5th, killing Scarborough and wounding Birchfield. The loss of his best friend, George Curry, has filled Harvey with anger and vengeance. He traveled north and killed Grand County Sheriff John Tyler and his deputy, Sam Jenkins, on May 26th. Though on the run, Harvey joined the Wild Bunch, and on August 29, 1900, they robbed a train near Tipton, Wyoming, taking about $55,000. The group then parted ways, with Logan and Ben Kilpatrick heading for Fort Worth, Texas. Meanwhile, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, and Will Carver robbed First National Bank in Winnemucca, Nevada on September 19th, earning about $2,000. The following year, members of the Wild Bunch, including Harvey Logan, Will Carver, Butch Cassidy, Ben Kilpatrick, and the Sundance Kid, gathered at Hell's Half Acre in Fort Worth, Texas, to celebrate. Unfortunately, they made a fatal mistake, posing for a portrait. When the Pinkertons discovered the photo, it quickly appeared on countless wanted posters around the country. In 1901, William Carver was ambushed and shot dead by Sheriff Elijah Bryant and his deputies in Sonora, Texas. He died just 3 hours later, leaving Harvey and the Wild Bunch team heartbroken and angry. Determined to get revenge, Harvey and several members of the gang hijacked a Union Pacific train near Wagner, Montana on July 3, 1901, and earned about $40,000. However, the group split up and went in different directions, and Harvey was still not satisfied with his intentions for revenge. On July 26, 1901, he killed Jim Winters, who had killed his brother John in 1896. Harvey then went to Tennessee, where his girlfriend Annie Rogers was arrested in Nashville that month for transferring notes from a robbery in Montana. But Harvey's anger was not quenched. On December 13, 1901, he killed two Knoxville policemen, William Dinwiddie and Robert E. Saylor, as they attempted to arrest him. Despite being chased by Pinkerton agents and other law enforcement officials, Harvey returns to Montana for a time. Curry then returns to Knoxville. In a billiards hall on November 30, 1902, Curry was arrested after an altercation with lawmen. After being sentenced to 20 years hard labor and a $5,000 fine for robbery, Logan escaped from prison on June 27, 1903. Many historians have suggested that a police officer accepted a bribe of $8,000 to help him escape, but this has never been proven. Logan was again involved in a train robbery a year later, this time near Parachute, Colorado. A team of commandos caught up with the outlaws, and during the confrontation, Logan was injured. Instead of facing justice and going to jail, he chooses to take his own life coldly. William Pinkerton, head of the Pinkerton Detective Agency, has nothing but contempt for Logan, calling him the worst outlaw in America. According to Pinkerton, Logan doesn't have a single redeeming trait and is the only criminal he knows who doesn't have a good point. Logan was buried in Pioneer Cemetery, Linwood, overlooking Glenwood Springs, Colorado, a short distance from the memorial to legendary gunman Doc Holliday. Kid Curry is undoubtedly one of the Old West's most notorious and intriguing outlaws. His life was filled with adventure, violence, and tragedy. Although his life was cut short at the age of 37, Kid Curry's legacy lives on to this day. He remained a symbol of the lawlessness and danger of the Old West, the presence of the spirit of rebellion and independence that characterized the era. For those fascinated by the history of the American West, Kid Curry's story is an interesting one not to be missed. Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thank you guys for watching.